Money saved for a rainy day is far from the most desirable investment you can make. That doesn't mean it's not essential. When your life gets flipped upside down, whether from job loss, divorce, a tragedy in the family, or any unexpected financial crisis, having liquid assets to pull from can ensure your survival. Whether sitting on $1,000 or $15,000, you'll know when you've saved money for a rainy day. But sometimes life happens and you feel the urge to take some money from the reserves. What exactly is an emergency? If something comes up, do you need to rethink your priorities? Should you move things around your budget to make space for this new expense? Or is this a legit emergency? Most financial experts agree that you should have enough money to cover 3 to 6 months of expenses. There's no shame in using your emergency fund if you need to, but remember, it will rain. If you have a reason to dip into your emergency fund, ask yourself these 3 questions first. Number 3, is it unexpected? The biggest downside of having an easily accessible rainy day fund is using the money for situations that don't necessarily qualify as emergencies. For example, Christmas happens on the same day yearly, so it's an expected expense. Despite this, many people routinely go over budget for their holiday shopping. It can be tempting to use an emergency fund for everyday situations that put a strain on your finances. However, this should be reserved solely for the unexpected. A job loss, a health crisis, emergency car repairs, hurricane damage to your home. These are events that you cannot expect. Christmas, on the other hand, is an annual event and you have a whole year to prepare. The emergency may never come, but you'll thank yourself for not spending it all on lavish holiday gifts if it does. Enjoying the video so far? Then make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Number 2, is it necessary? Consider whether the bill you must pay is a wish or a necessity. You don't have to pay for it out of your emergency savings if it's unnecessary. When you have to use your emergency fund just to get by, figuring out what you need becomes a survival tool. You'd be in a great position if you lived below your means. That is, if you weren't spending more than you earned before this emergency hit. However, even if your expenses are relatively modest, it's worth re-examining them. You must determine which ones qualify as wants under your new financial reality. It's usually not too difficult to separate wants from needs. If you lose your job, you must pay for rent and food with your emergency fund. A new iPhone, a vacation, or a designer jacket fall firmly in the wants category. The hardest thing to resist is the temptation to put aside what you need. That's why you must be diligent in using it only for needs. Buying a new laptop if the old one breaks down using an emergency fund is wise since it's the tool you use to make money. But you shouldn't be raiding your emergency fund unless you need it for the job. Number 3, is it urgent? Ever had an employer who said everything on your to-do list was urgent? Or been around spoiled kin who needed everything right now? It's exhausting. And if you live with that attitude about your spending, you'll soon exhaust your emergency fund. Avoid impulse buys and practice the art of financial patience whenever possible. Save your emergency fund for expenses that you need to pay ASAP. If it can wait, make it a savings goal you work towards. Let's say your home needs $5,000 worth of repairs. If a specialist tells you you should do it right now, then now is the time to use your emergency fund. But if they say that the repairs can wait until next year without causing any problems, then it's not exactly urgent. Schedule repairs for later and postpone what you can each month until then. It can be hard to save the required cash for an emergency fund, but it's one of the smartest financial moves you can make. If you've managed to have one, you've made it to the minority of Americans. And learn the literal definition of emergency. Wanting a new PlayStation is not an emergency. There is a blown transmission. Wanting to vacation in the tropics is also not an emergency. But paying rent or a mortgage after an unexpected job loss is certainly an emergency. Don't make the mistake of borrowing money from your emergency fund to buy things you don't really need. Disaster can strike before you can pay for yourself, leaving you with a few good options if your emergency fund is depleted for no good reason. Let your emergency fund be used for real emergencies and save for other needs elsewhere in your budget. How do you avoid spending your emergency funds? Let us know in the comment section below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you get all the uploads and you can enjoy the excellent content we send your way.